back, everybody, to WGLNA. We're getting ready for our last match of the day, which is Ehrmagerd Caernervern versus Simplistic. Both teams looking to change their momentum as they both lost their most recent series, but more specifically, Simplistic has not won a single series yet. They've actually haven't won a single battle yet.
Wow.
It's 0-3 against Nerv, 0-3 against the Cunninghams.
That is so unfortunate, man.
That is, especially since you know those guys.
Yeah.
Art of War and all of them.
Yeah, it's like, where do you come back? How do you rally from that? And a team that can rally from that's got to be very strong.
For sure.
Yeah.
And it's gonna take a lot, especially to overcome a team that honestly has a lot of fans, at least relative to our studio. I know a lot of people are big proponents for Ehrmagerd Caernervern. And EC has been going through some communication changes as well. We've had trouble to stop by the studio last week. We got to tell us a little bit about what's been going on with the team. And I'm really excited to see what they can bring back for this third series, because they did have a really close series against the Cunninghams, which we talked to Abe Martin, said shouldn't have happened in their opinion. And then EC lost 0-3 to Nerv, but then again, who hasn't been losing 0-3 to Nerv?
Yeah, I know. Nerv's been so strong, but EC, I mean, EC has, they have to come back. I mean, that huge loss, I'm not sure, I don't know where EC is at this point. You win.
Why don't you ask him for yourself?
I want to ask right now. We have the face-off?
As the face-off is ready, we have Tommy Cannon, and we have A-Large too. Cool. So welcome, gentlemen. Randall has you can start off the questions.
Yeah, so EC, Tommy Cannon, how's it going first?
It's going pretty good. You know, I'm just hanging out here. Can you hear me?
A little bit cold in there?
It's a little chilly. You know, my thermometers are pretty hard right now. Just checking out. Actually, it's like 70 degrees out. It's a pretty good day.
Yeah.
That's nice.
Yeah.
It's a very dark day outside. It's like, what, 8, 9 at night?
Yeah, we're not far away. But the first question I have for you is, you guys lost your first series.
We did.
You
second
did.
Series.
Sorry, not your first. Your second. Your first loss just happened.
This is news to all of us.
Potato.
Rue.
Yes, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Anyway, you just lost your second series, and you guys were looking really strong. How are you guys, and where are you as a team right now because of that?
Well, you know, you've been in Red Sky, so you know that we always bounce back from these things. Losing 0-3 is pretty tough, especially on the morale of the day. But, you know, we just go back to practice, and we had a few leadership changes per battle. So you're going to start seeing a lot of different strats from a lot of different battle callers. Sharn's going to call some, Darasta. I'm probably not going to call any because I'm terrible. I don't even know how I got in this clan. But I think I played one match yesterday. Actually, I played 0 last time. But I'm not saying that was why we lost. Certainly not. We would have lost worse. But yeah, we're definitely getting prepped for A-Large's team. I've known him for a long time. Very, very good team. You never, ever take these guys lightly. Everybody loses 0-3, except for Nerv, obviously. But
apparently not. But
we want a rematch, that's for sure.
Just like you said, Tommy, you weren't there last time. You guys lost 0-3. Maybe there's some correlation there. I don't know. I want to try to ask A-Large a couple questions as well. You guys have started off a little bit rough. What do you guys kind of have to fix in order to get ready for this match against Ehrmagerd Caernervern?
Well, obviously, we've been trying to adjust since the already changes and leadership changes and player changes, and we just got to get a good center and work off of that. So, I mean, we've just been struggling. We just got to get our heads back in the game and play smart, make the right call, and not be so stagnant, not be so hesitant, just make the move and roll with it.
All right, so are we going to expect a kind of play style change? Are you guys going to become more aggressive, or is there going to be something more? What more are we going to expect out of your strategy and play in the future?
I don't know. It depends on the map. Depends what they bring. I mean, you just got to be able to adjust properly. But we're probably going to revert back to something more at home that we're used to, not go out of the box too much, and then we'll see what happens.
Do you feel like that kind of play will make you predictable? I know we've had one interview earlier today where the subject was predictability and taking advantage of teams that were too easy to kind of just call their own strats. Do you think you might be?
It's a mind game. I could tell him one thing and then do the other. So it plays into the.
I think Tommy's
maybe it's what's on the head, whether it's earmuffs or a Yamaha head. Well, we'll see what it comes down to. Thank you, gentlemen, for joining us. Let's go ahead and do the coin flip. As Simplistic, you are the higher seed, so let's call it in the air.
All right, we'll take heads.
Heads and the flip. Nope, tails never fails. So, Tommy Cannon, you have the choice of map or defer.
He looks happy.
We're going to defer.
Oh, okay. He wants a spawn choice. So what we're gonna get, A large.
We'll take Ruinberg.
All right, Ruinberg for the first map, and the spawn side.
You gotta look at your notes.
No.
Don't mess up.
Tommy Cannon, what's your spawn side?
Ooh, we're gonna take. Let's take the. This is a really good question. How long do I have?
You have 10 seconds. Arbitrary number.
Oh gosh. We'll take Southside.
All right, Southside Ruinberg for Ehrmagerd Caernervern, North for Simplistic. Good luck, gentlemen, in your battles today.
Thank you. Good luck, Tommy.
Yeah, good luck, man. See you later.
Aw, some nice cordial back and forth. You're the boss, Commander. In the top side of the map, the red team, we have Simplistic. Yeah, I just read the names. I was like, all right, Simplistic. And they are the higher seeded team. Ehrmagerd Caernervern came through the qualifiers. Simplistic, they also came through the qualifiers, but they came a lot earlier. Ehrmagerd Caernervern lost in qualifier number 1, which we expected them to come through, and was not able to execute accordingly, as they end up losing to Cazadores 3-2. In the bottom half, the blue team. Wow, look at that switch timing. We have Ehrmagerd Caernervern, EC, currently 1-1 in the league. Simplistic is 0-2. And Simplistic hasn't won a single battle, so that is going to be one of the biggest storylines of this match, Randall.
Can they come back, man?
Or can they win a battle?
First, can they win the battle? Second,
Yes.
can they come back, make it to the top 8?
One step at a time.
Hey, I'm thinking big here.
Dream big.
Dream big. I mean, you know, if I'm Simplistic, I'm not gonna set my goals to just win. I'm gonna set my goals to win, and I'm gonna go to the top 8. So I'd be practicing really hard if I want this as Simplistic. I'd be going every night, hours and hours. You've got these special accounts, tons of gold on them, every tank, all the crew skills. I mean, they are set to practice all day and all night.
We'll see how well those practice will pay off dividends. Meanwhile, let's go ahead and throw it to Greetorp and talk a little bit about the positionings of the teams and how things can probably play out as time goes on.
You can definitely see Ehrmagerd Caernervern trying to contest the Delta Village, but they haven't yet confirmed whether or not their opponents are over there. Simplistic has chosen a pretty defensive side, knowing that Ehrmagerd Caernervern normally likes to go into that west side. We've seen them, I think, almost every time on Ruinberg, always going to the western side and then having some sort of flag cap possibility. But, of course, we don't have that at all. Both teams definitely have done their homework on each other.
Yeah, and we'll see how much that'll pay off in terms of results. But for now, 7:45, 2 minutes, 15 seconds in, nothing really transpiring just of yet. Do want to say that Ehrmagerd Caernervern, they're very known for their aggressive playstyle, and from the south they have done cap fast over in the city side. But based off their tank composition, seems like they may even go against that because they only have one IS-3, so their city brawl potential is a lot less than normal, right, Randall?
Yeah, they are going to lose out in that kind of city brawl, but they do have an advantage because we have 1390. It's going to play a good role as a scout here. Simplistic has that advantage of a 1390, whereas, you know, Ehrmagerd Caernervern, 35100s, IS-3.
Yep, it's up to Primus to get the scouts off and see if he can get good detection on Ehrmagerd Caernervern. Meanwhile, Simplistic still kind of, well, not really budging much. They're still unsure of where their opponents are. Maybe you can see a T1 often in G1. Maybe you can see a T1 kind of positioned anywhere in the city, and that kind of hints where they are. But until then, with not enough information, neither team really wants to push too far out. As you can see, a nice little hexagon.
That is the EC logo. The bottom half right there we just saw on the screen. That was cool. Little track with an E, then something like a road
but right
wheel.
below that there's like a nice little hexagon,
Oh.
little ring there. It's like a safety O-ring.
Yeah.
Except not really an O-ring. It's a
Well,
hexagon
there's all sorts of stuff that they leave on the models of these tanks. Little, you know, tools like shovels and
Yeah.
and in Russian tanks
You
you
can
got
see
that.
the antenna right there on the back of the T1, so you
And
can get the radio signals.
Exactly. Although it's not very far radio signal on the T1.
No,
it's very
but
short.
anything helps.
Yeah. It is an old tank, so I mean, it gets an old radio. I believe actually, I think you can get signal flags on a lot of tier 1s and tier 2s. That's actually what you get. You don't get a radio.
There's
you
even
get
a little link there so you can tow the T1.
Yeah.
If you park there too long on Ruinberg, they just tow you. And AAA doesn't exist in Germany, so.
only 10-minute parking.
That's right, they didn't pay your meter. It's like, oh God, a T1 got towed again. I need to make it to the match on Ruinberg.
Oh.
And then it's like actually towed to your buddy's garage. As you see Ehrmagerd Caernervern, they kind of rotate from the bottom corner over in the 0 line over to 6, rearranging themselves so that way they can maybe make a city push. By now it's clear because they do have a T1, I believe it's Gomes, over spotting the village so they know that no one's there.
Yeah, at this point, I think Ehrmagerd Caernervern, they were hoping there would be a fight in the Delta Village. And unfortunately, there hasn't been.
Well, they take pride in their brawling.
Yeah, they definitely do. But now they have to go find Simplistic, who is in a very strong position in the city. If Ehrmagerd Caernervern tries the wrong approach, which it looks like they could go down into Simplistic's ideal approach, it could be just disastrous for them.
Now, we've seen good brawling before with the Gomes Trouble 2 combo, but today we have Tommy Cannon and Scharnhorst. We'll see how they do in relation to the other 3 heavy hitters, Ertai, Vect, and Rasta. Meanwhile, Whiskey Dot holding it down back at the cap.
Yep. He's a scout player. Playing T1s is one thing you got to learn to do as a scout.
Oh.
Doesn't quite get to do those big lights anymore. No T52s or 1390s for him today.
Good spots from both teams. Prime Moose is lit up. So is Mighty Pillow and Artivore, and Durasta will take the first hit for the game. As Mighty Pillow and Artivore taking a nice shot angle, although they are exposing their sides, so they're poking out a little bit aggressively.
They should have a hold on. Ooh, Sharn's going to take a hit here.
Oh, he does. A very big hit, almost a very high roll, 422. As EC has taken a lot of hit point damage to get to where they are. Sharn taking more damage, now down to 515. Has to be cautious. Is this going to pay off for EC whatsoever? As they are taking a better position. Vect also getting grazed as they pass by.
But they're losing so much health on this approach. And it's just, and Durasta makes a missed move here and rams into Ertai. But, Scharnhorst goes down to, that is Primus. Where is Primus here on the flanks?
Primus is still over at C1. Ehrmagerd Caernervern not in a good position as they're taking lots of chip damage from all different angles. But Artivore has dropped, so it is, oh, never mind. Tommy Cannon will die in response. For a second, I thought Ehrmagerd Caernervern was going to even it out, but instead they are down in firepower. A lot of people are still clipping. Durasta is still not able to get the perfect angle on Mighty Pillow. Wants to go for a shot straight into the front pike nose. Mighty Pillow will take a lot of damage, making him within 1 shot. But it'll come down to the last couple of fires. Ehrmagerd Caernervern still in a good position to get some good flanks. Oh, but in the end, Mighty Pillow missed. Or we got a ricochet on Durasta.
He hit the cover right there, just not paying enough attention, and accidentally, I think he hit the cover, and that's going to be huge for Ehrmagerd Caernervern. They can come back at this point, where a second ago we would have said it was over, wouldn't you?
Yeah, I would have said so. Meanwhile, Gomes and Whiskey Dot have fallen for Ehrmagerd Caernervern as the T1s by A-Large and Waffles has been won. Ertai able to finish off what he started. Speed weaponry now is going to get cornered potentially by 2 people, but Primus is going to try to get a flank and reposition so he can get some shots onto a member of Ehrmagerd Caernervern. Durasta does drop. Ertai is still clipping, but speed weaponry is inches within dying here, and Vect is able to finish off with a good flank. A-Large 2 trying to do something, but he can't really do much of that AMX 5100.
Ooh, Primus could clean up both of these tanks here, and there he goes.
Big shots.
Ooh, there is speed weaponry going down.
His speed weaponry was able to get 1 more shot, but I think he was still clipping in that regards. Not looking good for Ehrmagerd Caernervern, as not only can Waffles and A-Large distract the AMX 5100, but AMX 5100 has pretty thin armor. T1s can still do enough to thin out his health.
Yeah, and Primus here has plenty of health to work with, so he could just reload, go into a brawl, and take Vect out. These T1s, though, are probably going to distract. Ooh.
Oh, no, he tracks one of the T1s instead of picks them off. That is massive, massive error there from Vect, as he has only 3 bullets at best to fight Prime Moose.
Yeah, and Primus, I believe, probably just took all of that time just as we were talking to reload.
Yeah.
And he's clipped out full shots.
No, he's got to do something. Maybe he can track Primus and stall him from doing something. Primus is going to take another big shot. Vect only has 1 more bullet left, but he won't be able to do it. 4 health left for Vect. Can he get some kind of ricochet off? No! Simplistic will take battle number 1, their first battle in WGL. We'll be right back right after this and get ready for our second battle between Ehrmagerd Caernervern and Simplistic. What happens? Heck if we know. We'll be right back. This is WGL. Welcome to Prokhorovka. I said it completely wrong. The red team in the bottom side is Simplistic, currently up 1-0, winning their first ever battle in WGL. They did go 0-3 against Nerf and 0-3 against Cunningham's. And now they're here, hailing from the clan Simp. Finally making them, repping them proudly. And we also have Ehrmagerd Caernervern, and we said, actually with 2 arrows specifically, almost mirroring Greetor's movements exactly, that Ehrmagerd Caernervern likes to be really aggressive, but again, just like Greetor pointed out, Simplistic might just dart straight for the train tracks, and I wonder how this is going to pan out.
This is a different strat out of EC right now. Whiskey Dodd in the 1390 here made a very good scout run and actually spotted the T1, but when he realized the T1 was there and he didn't see anyone else, they said, no, we're not going to push in on this.
Okay.
Our enemy is prepared. And from what I can see, Simplistic looks like they were prepared for that push.
Yeah, they all stacked and spread themselves so they can get good crossfire. And now their plan has been revealed. So a good restraining order within Ehrmagerd Caernervern's ranks. And now they can kind of play a map a little bit differently because they have to be prepared for a scenario like this.
Yeah, but Whiskey Dot in the meantime has spotted a few members of Simplistic as they were going to the east. So this is huge. Whiskey picking up on the positioning of the enemy team and scouting them out. Unfortunately, the T-69s, Tommy Cannon, Sharn, and Urtai were not able to capitalize on any of that spotting. Whiskey does get out without any damage, though. So we have established where Simplistic's going for Ehrmagerd. And Ehrmagerd, well, all that they know is that Whiskey's around and that there are some T-69s roaming somewhere. So Simplistic can't really move from here confidently, I don't think.
As we can see, both teams have pretty different compositions, even though the 1390 is a pretty important staple to both teams. In the end, we have Ehrmagerd Caernervern going for the T-69s, while Simplistic is favoring the WZ-132. Interesting, just because that's all lights from Simplistic, and all lights, I mean, it gives you crazy amount of ability to swarm, but still, it's all lights.
Yeah,
so
and you're taking on
You can't really
mediums.
take punishment.
Yeah, and those mediums, do you think they'll come in? How much do you think that they will just punish those light tanks for trying to push? I mean, if you are Simplistic and you try and push, you run into 3 T-69s, dude. That hurts so bad.
It's almost, if they can land all their shots, it's 2 tanks that can almost instantly get lit up and completely get taken out, and that's assuming Whiskey and Gomes aren't even there to help add some damage. And the thing about lights in relation to the mediums is just hit points. You know, you don't have as much hit points to play with, especially with flimsy tanks like the WZ-132. Yeah. 10, 50 hit points. That's 3.5 shots.
Well, Andre, I think, would be the one to ask about all of that.
3.2 shots, something like that, if you can get some pretty decent rolls overall.
Yep, and I mean, the 69s have 1350 health. That's not a huge number of hit points over
it's
the
another
other
hit,
lights,
though.
but it is a whole other hit, and on top of that, great gun depression from T-69s on a map.
And you can still get some really weird balances sometimes on the T-69 if you position correctly.
Yeah, the T-69 is just a fantastic tank, and I think this strat is really very solid, but unfortunately right now, all that's happening is Ehrmagerd Caernervern's just moving DeRosta up and covering his approach with T-69s, with the 1390s trying to scout around. I see Whiskey and Gomes being the primary scouts, but T1s can't really active, so what has to happen is 1390s guide in the T1s, let them get into a cool bush safely, and from there the T1s get to kind of, passive spot, and the 1390s can worry about the active spotting. It's a good way to get coverage.
6 minutes on the clock, and Simplistic still is taking up the hill, so you can get some good crossfire. Primus in the WZ-132 has pretty good accuracy, so perching up a 132 in that hill is not
Gomes
a bad
takes
idea.
a hit. Outside of your view here, Gomes takes 2 hits.
That's pretty.
Gets spotted.
Big.
Nice shots from the hill. It's actually outside of your draw range here, but it is just on the edge there.
Wow,
so
nice shot from way downtown.
Way out there, like 5.
Oh, DeRosta does get picked off by a large. Still no revealing of where the positions are. Simplistic Whiskey might be able to get some good proxy spots, but there's also 2 members of Simplistic way in there. Whiskey has to be careful. Oh, whiff shot from Art of War, but he is going to take big punishment in regards. Whiskey, he'll take that trade any day. 1 shot for 3. Very nice.
Art of War, 421 health. Wow, I'm amazed they didn't get spotted sooner up on those tracks, but I guess with all these crew skills, you could get away with that kind of thing. That was Wow, that was an interesting position, I'd have to say. I don't know if a lot of teams can get away with that. Certainly they won't be able to get into any kind of position like that again. They'll have to use the hill. Ooh, T-69s from Ehrmagerd Caernervern starting to move up, getting ready to make their push and put the pressure on from the north side.
Slowly but surely, keep in mind, and again, Prime Moose, and I believe it is A-Large 2. Oh, no, it's Mighty Pillow, are still going to be firing all the way from the hill.
Ooh, Doberman is going to get spotted. T-69 is going to fall for what could be a bait here. Yep, Sharn's going to take hits for it.
2 shots landing, which is very nice, and it's going to punish Ehrmagerd Caernervern. Both teams still just trying to get easy free trades, and they have been. They've been able to really exchange damage, but overall, Simplistic, the one doing a better job of it. Now, in the end, Ehrmagerd Caernervern, they still are not in any true position to push. I mean, sure, they're down 0-1, but it's 41 to 42 tier points, 4 minutes left. They can still fall back and try to see if they can catch another tank out of position and maybe try to play off that.
Yeah, in the meantime, I think Tommy and Sharn are probably going to head up north here, go around, take the B6 crossing, and try to kill Doberman there. Although Urtai is going to take more hits as, wow, this spotting in combination with some very good cover fire is getting Simplistic everywhere. And
yeah.
Simplistic is taking so many unnecessary hits.
And I wonder if it's Prime Moose or the other 1390 that's with him that's been able to do some good damage. In this case, it is Mighty Pillow. I will have to take the damage report after this game to see who's been responsible for a lot of this advantage that Simplistic has, as they are now aggressing onto a lot of the members of Ehrmagerd Caernervern. Whiskey gets the proxy spot on a couple members, and all of a sudden, Simplistic is going to turn on the Jets as they are going to try to engage onto EC. A-Large taking big damage. Urtai trying to fire in response. Gets a couple shots, but they're going to get flanked from Mighty Pillow and Prime Moose trying to see if they can get the flank, and they do. Gomes does drop. 1390 Whiskey is the next target that's going to drop here. Focus fire from Simplistic will knock him down as well. Urtai trying to scramble and salvage the situation, but it's not going to be resulting in anything as Urtai will drop as well.
Yep, and at the same time, Tommy Ken is way out of position along with Scharnhorst. I think Sharn got a few shots in here, but Tommy is completely out of the fight. He was all the way at the cap, all the way at B4 during this fight. And just, wow, that is
uncharacteristic teamwork from Ehrmagerd Caernervern. They usually band together perfectly, especially on a map like Prohorovka. But in this scenario, the opposite is true. Now, lots of members from Simplistic are weak, and we've seen EC do some pretty crazy things in terms of trying to pull out a comeback, but the odds are against them. They have to do some kind of miracle play because all 7 members of Simplistic are alive versus the 3 of Ehrmagerd Caernervern. Now, keep in mind that, again, Simplistic has a big tier advantage. They don't have to push. That's going to put a lot of pressure. They can set up so that way if EC tries to make anything happen, they're just in a nice cover position where they can lay crossfire and they shut down Scharnhorst and Tommy Cannon completely.
Yep, and right now Tommy Cannon and Sharn are both looking towards their own cap point. This is, Sharn is, there we go. Sharn needs to look the other way right now. He needs to be looking towards mid. He needs to be looking towards square speed weaponry, Prime Moose, Art of War, A-Large, and Mighty Pillow will probably show up at this point. The T1s, they're a concern, but the second Sharn takes these shots, I'm expecting to see a push.
And he's missing the shots as well. He's not able to land them on Doberman, and that's huge because the two spots have been located. Scharnhorst is going to take big damage as Tommy Cannon is also going to whiff. Oh, just kidding. He managed to take out Waffles, but still the cap is still initiated, and that's just going to pressure him off enough. Now, there's no cap possible as it's 107 unless another member of Simplistic joins him. But until then, Ehrmagerd Caernervern is going to try to focus their efforts on whoever's alive, but it might not have any impact whatsoever as Mighty Pillow does take out Scharnhorst and Tommy Cannon, the last member alive for EC.
Very unfortunate right there. I'm really wondering what Tommy Cannon was doing all the way up north during that engagement.
Maybe he thought someone was poking up the B7.
Maybe, but
trying to catch someone off guard. Oh no, Tommy's missing shots again too. But at this point, what does it really matter in the grand scheme of things? Tommy Cannon gonna be taken down. Simplistic jumps out the gate 2-0 over Ehrmagerd Caernervern. All right, let's try this again over in the south side. What was the north side in the previous edition of Ensk. we have Simplistic, the red team. And in the north, we have Ehrmagerd Caernervern. Now, this is something cool that we don't see all the time. 2 teams going east.
Ooh, this is a first for our day. A first for
our league.
Our
Oh,
league.
wait, and what do I see? I think I see an arty piece in the tank selection. Greetor, what's up there?
It's a Jagdpanther 2.
Oh, it's a tank destroyer. Just kidding.
So
I
obviously
clearly
has
can't recognize tank silhouettes as good as Rico.
incredibly good alpha damage.
Well, I feel silly now.
and it has some. It's pretty nimble
For a
as well.
second, I thought it looked like the German
It's direct fire artillery.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's one way to look at it.
It's got a huge gun. That's the same gun you see on the mouse, man, and it hits so hard.
Although some people have been calling TDs the
Like
kind of
RDs as
the
well.
the RDs of 8.6. Of course, it operates a lot differently, but something to know.
So I'm not completely wrong.
No,
Thank
not
you,
at all.
Greetor.
Battle buddy.
Thank you. Rukio was not there to save me.
I tried
Just
to
like
save
in
you.
our just like in our platoon.
It's all right.
No.
Root kill potato today.
I potatoed so hard.
Potato 007.
Mm-hmm.
Never truly dead. Ehrmagerd Caernervern is going to take a little bit of a defense position. Scharnhorst is going to fire out just in case.
Yeah, destroying a few buildings. I think he wants good coverage on Cap, but he doesn't want all of this stuff in the way. So he's going to take his time to destroy it all. He's got plenty of shots. He's not going to run out of ammo. Not in this battle. And
How much vision does Simplistic have, and how much do they know Ehrmagerd Caernervern is there?
I'm not sure they know that they're in the least. We've got, it looks like IS-3s in some nice, reverse angling positions, that kind of deal in the south, but I haven't seen any spotting at all.
It's so interesting because no one has sent a T1 down to conventional places like B1.
Yeah.
Because we usually see a team in the north, completely send a T1 by there to get some scouting down the one line, or in this case, you don't have a T1 kind of poking around the courtyard to see any movement as well.
The thing is, I think Simplistic has probably picked up on all of the buildings that Sharn has been destroying.
And they're aware of what's happening.
Yeah, they know someone is out there destroying all of those buildings, and a T1 is going to have trouble destroying all of those buildings quite as quickly as Sharn did. So, at this point, I think they're guessing, and correctly, that there is someone there.
And what EC, I mean, they're the ones that are pressured to do something. They're down 0-2. They can't really afford to draw out more than once. So they can technically let this go into a draw, but they don't want that. They'd rather take it and then start swinging the series the other way. Meanwhile, Simplistic, they obviously are frozen because they don't want to get blown up by that Jagdpanther 2.
Yeah, you can't. It's so hard to
That
push into
alpha's
that.
insane.
And Sharn's position is fantastic. He's got a great view on most of the approaches for Simplistic. So Simplistic's going to say, why would we push into that? We're up. We can draw this. And you've got a tank destroyer. Now Sharn is actually going to move out a little bit and pausing in the open. I think, is he making the... That makes me think he's making the call. Like that he's calling this battle, and he can't focus all of his attention on driving right now. He's focusing it more on the rest of his team. And he's trying to call stuff out, I think. I'm not really sure. That's just the indication that I'm getting from this driving.
Well, Whiskey is moving forward, trying to see if he can get good spotting onto any enemies from Simplistic. And ooh, there Whiskey does get the spot on Doberman. Getting the first shot from Scharnhorst. He's going to angle himself. He's going to try to see if he can line it up. Does he have the angle, though?
Yes, but he misses.
Oh, he misses. That's such a big whiff there. And Ehrmagerd Caernervern, they had a big opportunity to take a big lead if that shot from the Jagdpanther 2 hit. But Scharnhorst falling a little bit short.
Very unfortunate right there. Now they know. They know
Yep.
someone's out there, and
They know
need to
who's
be
out
reactive.
there, and they know the Jagdpanther wouldn't go out there alone.
Ooh,
The
IS-3 spotted.
strategy has been revealed. Arvor trying to angle a shot, but he also whiffs.
But here comes the push from Ehrmagerd Caernervern. It looks like they're still going to be trying to be aggressive here, but we have Ertai and DM Gomes here a little far behind what I would say for the rest of the team. Ooh, big hit goes out on Primus.
Yeah, Primus gets shot. Tommy Cannon also retrieves a hit. Meanwhile, Ertai and Gomes trying to pressure on. Doberman's going to take out Whiskey Dobb, but he does get the spot on most of the members' positioning. Was the sacrifice in vain? We'll find out in a couple seconds. Scharnhorst able to destroy large too, so the T1 trades, but in the end, it's still down to the hit point trades of the tier 8s.
Yeah, I'm expecting a big push here, a counter push out of Simplistic, trying to jump on maybe maybe Tommy Cannon, maybe Gomes and Urtai here. They need to get they need to jump on these guys.
But can they do that? If
Yes.
Scharnhorst just lines up a shot from the open, if they can just knock down the fence, wouldn't that put them in jeopardy?
Well, there is an angle that they can attack DM, Gomes, and Urtai at where Sharn isn't. Ahead of Kemsey, or I'd say between Kemsey and the rest of Simplistic, as you see in the middle of the screen, they could approach that way. And
use the
Sharn,
building.
and it's kind of a blind spot for Sharn where they can still get shots on these IS-3s. They need to get that kind of damage out right now. However, their consideration is probably where is Sharn? They don't see him. Actually, do they see him spotted?
No, they don't see him spotted. They spotted the other 4 tier 8s from Ehrmagerd Caernervern. Meanwhile, DeRosta is still alive in case a T1 is wrapping around to countercap. So that is going to be something that Simplistic can use. Maybe they can use a T1 to distract, but until then, Waffles is sitting back nice and pretty over in K9.
That is some good positioning there. The T1, though, could be leaving right now. I think he could probably do something on the other side of the map, try and win a T1 fight. That kind of pressure would really help Simplistic at this point as the trades begin.
Tommy
and the push.
Cannon taking a big shot, also getting some shots from Waffles. Waffle adding some nice damage and picking apart Tommy Cannon. Urtai trying to charge in and get some shots, but Doberman is going to try to aim, but he misses on Kemsey or gets a ricochet. Tommy Cannon trying to use the screen to move up, while Mighty Pillow has a nice spot here between the fuel tanks, trying to get out of there, but
Huge
player
push.
from Trades.
Primus and Speed Weaponry coming out from behind right here. I don't know how this is going to work out, but they did get Kemsey down where before I thought he would have been perfectly safe.
Oh no, Scharnhorst is exposed. He is going to try to get a good shot on Speed Weaponry, but Speed Weaponry able to try to unload his entire clip. Scharnhorst needs to get behind the rail, and he does manage to barely survive a shot from the T-69 as Doberman needs to try to see if he can get one more shot. Maybe it's worth it, but a lot of ammo has been used from Speed Weaponry. Urtai is trying to wrap around, and together Scharnhorst Urtai is able to take down Speed Weaponry. Ehrmagerd Caernervern with a decisive lead, but can they hold on to it? Artivore is centimeters from his death as he has 74 health left.
But Sharn is equally as close to death with 35. One hit from really any tank
But
right
his
now.
job is done, don't you think? Because there's only 2 members alive from Simplistic, and one of them is basically about to die. In fact, Doberman takes a big shot as well.
Sharn's putting out that damage. He needs to keep putting this damage out. He still has that efficiency of just huge alpha right now, and he's going to have another shut up just in time.
Whoa.
Bob Doberman, though, isn't going to go for him. He's actually going for Urtai and Gomes.
Oh man, Artivore being an absolute hero right now, stalling for a lot of time. Urtai drops, but Scharnhorst is able to wrap around, and Gomes should go for the finish. Ehrmagerd Caernervern showing life in battle number 3. Will take it and start the comeback train. Let's take a commercial break, and when we come back, battle number 4 between Ehrmagerd Caernervern and Simplistic. Here in the south side, currently up 2-1 and eagerly anticipating their first victory in WGL. We have Simplistic currently up 2-1. And the blue team, Ehrmagerd Caernervern, down 1-2 and 1-1 overall in WGL. Looks like they're downing 3 AMX 5100s, an IS-3, and a T-69. While almost the same exact thing from Simplistic, except they're trading in one of those 5100 autoloaders for a KV-5.
Very interesting trade, and I'd have to say we haven't seen a lot of success out of KV-5s.
Nope, KV-5 still has a 0% win rate in
Actually,
WGL.
it has a few. It has a few wins. I have
it
to
does.
correct you on that. There has been, I believe, one win that was pointed out to me. And,
Okay, so we're wrong on this.
It's not a terrible, it's not a good win rate, but it is pretty bleak for the.
Do you
KV-5s.
know which map it was on?
I don't remember. I believe it was Refuse to Die, though. That
Okay.
made a win. It was one of the early
I believe
days.
it. Refuse to Die has been playing pretty well overall.
And they've been playing a lot of KV-5.
Yes, they have. And the KV-5 is, well, it's not really good at hiding, but that's the whole point. It's there to absorb hits. It's there to use its enormous hit point pool. I believe it's 1750. Correct me if I'm wrong.
I won't correct you because sounds right.
And you can use that to your advantage if you want to brawl. In the meantime, Simplistic gonna take the eastern side, and well, they're just gonna play it really passively until something happens from Ehrmagerd Caernervern, who's just stacking their tier 8s over on the hill.
Yep, they're out in the east. That is Simplistic out in the west there. Yeah, just clarifying
I
that. It looks
completely
like we have
bobbled there.
Scharnhorst and Tommy Cannon covering each other's backs in a silly way. It's a confusing thing to see. I do think Sharn is making the call. Ooh, Whiskey goes down.
Whiskey goes down to
Primus.
AMX 5100.
Where is Primus? Was that a shot? Where? Oh, wow, that was... Go
that-
find Primus
What?
right now.
Where
wanna
did he hit him
No,
from?
this is awesome.
What
so
the
if you go
heck?
find Primus right now, I'm not on Simplistic's team.
Is he in K4?
Yeah, I think he's in K4.
Whoa, I didn't even know you can make that
Yeah,
shot.
you can make shots from K4 to the hill.
Oh, man.
There's a very, very thin little shot you can get, but on the corner of K4, you can shoot to the hill if a T1 is in the wrong position.
Whiskey got baited.
Oh,
And
yeah.
as a result, paid it with his life.
That
That
is-
T1 shutdown is a huge disadvantage for Ehrmagerd Caernervern.
Just unfortunate positioning, I'd say, out of... And here we actually... There it is, right there. Simplistic's 5100
Well,
make.
cool.
That is a huge shot uphill, by the way, which is much harder to make, I'd say.
And that is all because of, whoa, let's drift like we're in Pacific Rim. As you can see, well, looks like we're not done going through stuff.
Yep,
Are we synchronizing yet, Randall? Are you in my brain?
I don't think we're compatible. Like
Oh,
that.
wow. Screw you too, man.
I think it's you and Andre, dude. You guys are so in sync all the time. What is your little name for your combo?
Ruko, if we fought, I'd 4-0 you easily.
Oh, definitely. But I'm just saying, you and Andre, it's just beautiful to watch you two work.
Why,
It's-
thank you.
I think you
And
two
I'm sure
could be put
Greetorp
in.
appreciates those words.
You could be put into a mech or a tank, and you'd make a good crew. I'm just saying.
Well, Greetorp, what tank would we be in if we were to command? We'd probably be in a T1 together. Let's be real.
That
Nice,
sounds about
nice
right.
and chummy.
One-
But you
Sounds about
could
right.
be the commander. I'll be the driver.
You want Andre to sit on your shoulders?
Yeah, why not?
Okay.
I don't know. I kind of feel like we would be in a T-71, honestly. We'd just be drifting everywhere.
Would Dan be driving?
Dan
As
would
long
be
as I'm
driving.
not the loader on a T-71, I'm good.
He
The
does.
loader just seems to die
A
whenever
lot.
we can.
Yeah, but although we do see, I think, Ehrmagerd Caernervern shifting their position around here a few times. This is an interesting play for me. They're all looking the same direction, which is down Tank Alley, and there's not a lot of vision anywhere else. It's very, very thin at this point. And I don't think this is a strong position for Ehrmagerd Caernervern. I think they need to kind of make some kind of push at this point, but it's after losing that big scout, I'm just not sure.
Well, they do have less vision on the map, just like you said. So just as you're unsure, I think they're unsure.
Yeah. They have-
Ehrmagerd Caernervern's going to just turn around. They don't see anybody over on G7, the Tank Alley. And they're just going to, well, I guess they're just going to fall back immediately and try to reposition again. But we've seen good brawling from Ehrmagerd Caernervern all series long, so I think they're very confident that if they have to make a push, as long as they kind of can locate where their enemies are, they are very confident in the final minutes of the game.
Yeah, well, I don't think Simplistic's going to actually go anywhere.
Oh, no!
Oh, come on, watch your driving, Sharn.
Some free damage there.
You don't want to do that. That's
He's going to get fined after this game.
well, you don't actually get fined, but Bugsy do.
Oh, in team training, that's
Yeah.
right.
Yep, and in platoons. You can team kill your platoon mates. and
Actually, EC does that sometimes at the end of the match if it doesn't matter.
Yep.
Very much.
they're very fond of that. They're very, very happy when they win, and they definitely let everyone know it by team killing each other.
It's definitely a way to celebrate. For some people, it's just driving around in circles. For others, it's killing your comrades. Meanwhile, we see Gomes pushing down the one line, trying to even get any spots. They need to kind of piece together the puzzle. They know the T1 was on the hill. They need to find where other tanks are. And as soon as they can, maybe they can make something happen. But until then, we
Spots
do have
going
the
up.
Spots.
On the hill, actually, it's DeRosta spotting backwards a T1.
Onto Waffles.
Yeah, Waffles is lit here, and he's lining up a shot, but Waffles has gone into a blind spot. I don't think he's going to come back. DeRosta realizes this, and he's going to move on. Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't really represent a true threat, as DeRosta is trying to see if he can get any spots again down the 3 line. Meanwhile, Simplistic, pretty sure they got up and stretched, got some coffee.
They could be AFK for all we know. They're just sitting
Yeah,
there.
one guy could be accidentally disconnected by now, and they're not moving.
But we won't know that because they're not moving at all.
No, they're actually starting to budge a little bit.
Oh,
a little
slightly?
bit. Oh, and the spots have been made. Ehrmagerd Caernervern making a push down the 2-line. Urtai, he's trying to take it, takes a shot, but it doesn't hit. Tommy Cannon does lose a little bit of health, but overall, Ehrmagerd Caernervern has survived the initial volleys.
Ooh, and there's some really insane bounces going out here.
Wow, very nice. Oh, but another shot onto Vect. Again, Ehrmagerd Caernervern willing to trade damage for position without returning anything too simplistic except for speed weaponry. Now some damage finally being rained down, but Scharnhorst has lost the majority of his health in response to this.
Yeah, that is some huge damage. Ehrmagerd Caernervern keeps making a mistake of this.
No, Vect
all
is now
day.
down to 500. Scharnhorst is now within reaching distance of death. And now Ehrmagerd Caernervern caught in a very awkward position. How do we engage on this? Meanwhile, the KB5 still hasn't taken a single hit. Mighty Pillow trying to pepper down his opponents as much as he can.
But at the same time, you can't hide this many tanks behind a building like this.
Oh, and Gomes has to fight back at home. T1 against two T1s, although he's doing a good job trading, trying to take out a large and Waffles. And if Gomes drops, that's going to put Ehrmagerd Caernervern on the clock in terms of being able to make something happen. Gomes trying to see if he can get something. If he can shut down one of the both T1s, maybe he can do something. But Gomes does get a lot of damage from a large across. Meanwhile, still more skirmishes happening on the 3-line.
Yeah, but Gomes has to burn his kit on his ammo rack right now. Although, more importantly, we're going to see the push. Yeah, KB5, Art of War pushing out. He's going to try and absorb hits, but it doesn't look like Ehrmagerd Caernervern is interested in actually doing damage to him.
Mighty Pillow's going to lead the charge. He doesn't care. He's going to get tracked, but he's already doing the job of absorbing a lot of the hits. Tommy Cannon and Vect getting completely overwhelmed by the force of Simplistic. 2 members of Ehrmagerd Caernervern drops 3 down with 4 inevitably on the way. All 7 members alive from Simplistic with a lot of damage, but at least they have all their firepower. DeRosta, the last member alive, as EC will drop the 4th battle in this series, and Simplistic moments away from securing their first match victory in WGL as the parade has already begun. Simplistic is on the board 3-1. And to take the series, let's go to commercial break. When we come back, the day wrap-up and the series analysis. You're watching WGL. We'll return right after this.
Are you ready? Welcome to the Wargaming.net League North America World of Tanks.
Oh my God!
It is time for North America to answer the call of esports. This could be it. 5 seconds left to go.
I think we said
They got on the last second. An amazing play. This is just a taste of what's to come. He's trying to turn it around. Big shots going down all over the place.
Oh my
Gets the shot.
Welcome back, everybody. WGLNA. What you just saw was the finals promo for what's going to be happening in August 17th and 18th at Treasure Island in Las Vegas, Nevada. Join us, why don't you, for the Tanks finals for Season 1. Day number 5 is in the books, but after 11 days of play, we'll find out who are going to be our top 8 teams in Las Vegas, and we're one step closer to finding out what actually is going to happen.
Yep, it's going to be at Treasure Island, and I think admission is free, isn't it?
That's right. It's going to be a really cool experience. I encourage you guys to all come out. Of course, if you're 21 or older, it'll make your life a lot easier in terms of enjoying the event with us. In Wargaming, they know how to throw events. We know how to throw events. We're really excited, so please join us. The finals, August 17th and 18th. So we are done for the day, so let's go ahead and break down the winners. We can even tag a little bit of analysis at the very end of what we just saw. We had Nerve 3-0 Cunningham's, Simp 3-0 Wreak Havoc, Mott 4 2-0 Strike, even though it did go to battle number 4 because of 2 draws. Fulcrum 3-0 River of Blood, and then Simplistic 3-1 Ehrmagerd Caernervern. Randall, any thoughts about the matches, even particularly about the last one?
It felt a little bit one-sided. I mean, the MOP 4 series was slow, you'd have to say.
It was slow, but it's a change of pace considering everything else was so brisk compared
yeah,
to it.
maybe it was a little bit of a break. We could relax for a minute, but everything was very fast, and it felt very one-sided. I mean, you had one team that seemed very well prepared for their opponent, and their opponent did not seem as well prepared. It's those 3-0s, man.
Greaser, what did you think about some of the matches we saw today? What was your favorite?
Yeah, a lot of them were really, really good. Obviously, how we started out, we had Nerve versus Cunningham's. Man, it's just so cool to watch Nerve. Similar to Fulcrum, how you know they have the advantage, or at least now we know that Nerve has the advantage. They came out of nowhere and really surprised everybody. But it's cool watching them just execute to perfection, and this is something that I'm looking forward to seeing in Vegas. It's important to note 3 teams, Nerve, Simp, and Fulcrum all need only one more win to guarantee themselves the trip to Vegas.
Sim, Fulcrum, and Nerve, you said. Well, that's really important, so keep your eyes out for those teams. Of course, I do think Fulcrum deserves a break because they played 4 out of 5 days, so maybe Nagatron and crew can get a little bit of rest. Do want to talk a little bit about the bot leaderboard that's going on as well, because we realized that throughout the night we've been allowing people to bet on the matches, as we did put a little promo at the beginning. Let's go ahead and look at the leaderboard and see who is at the top. It's still Foster Kid keeping his points alive.
He is good at this, man.
He's pretty good at betting. We have Marbaka and Savage G, as well as Heavy 20, Captain Blood, and Adroxus.Golem. I'm seeing a lot of the names that I've been casting all night.
Yeah, these guys are the ones watching and being the most active.
They like lose battle number 1. They're like, quick, bet against me. Bet against our team. Captain Blood's like, they lost Himmelsdorf in like 2 minutes. They're like, all right, 10 on Fulcrum.
Bet all.
Bet max Fulcrum.
Yeah.
It's like, Captain Blood, really? That's not actually what happened, guys. We're just teasing. Of course, stay active, guys, because we do realize, we do know that betting is really fun, and we want to reward you with gold as well as premium tanks at the end of each week. So congratulations to those who will win at the end of this week. So while we're talking about the subject of gold giveaways, we also have some social media winners we talked about at the beginning of the night. Clutch has chosen a winner, so let's bring it up on screen and see who's the lucky winner.
Ooh. Wargaming League North America at Fulcrum Gaming has nailed that coffin they made for River of Blood with a 3-0 win. Impressive comeback in Game 3 to sweep. That was an impressive comeback in Game 3.
It was.
And Shane will be getting some gold for that. What will he get in that code?
He will get 2,000 gold and 7 days of premium, and that's pretty useful considering that premium basically helps accelerate everything down the tech tree, whether it's experience and credits. And keep in mind, guys, starting tomorrow, we have Lafayette's Pools birthday weekend where you get extra credits for playing any Sherman, whether it's the M4 Sherman, the Easy 8, as well as the Jumbo Sherman. So
That's Bitter's favorite tank, and he will tell us all day, every day, that the Jumbo Sherman, the mighty Jumbo Sherman, is the best tank of them all.
It's the mightiest of the Shermans, as what he says.
Yes.
There's only 3, so I guess it's not much competition there. So we're done with the gold giveaways. We do want to tell you guys the match list tomorrow, so that way you guys can know what to expect. We have Conference Alpha in action. Turtle Police versus Refuse to Die. Mot 4 versus Nerve, a cameo from Conference B. Simp versus Simplistic. Simple Tankers versus Cazadores. Bear Huggers versus Scurry Hard. Lots of teams there looking to secure their spots like Simp. Lots of teams looking for the first win, like Bear Huggers. We're going to see more of this tomorrow, which I think will be casted by Mr. Bitter and Rotterdam. Again, we want to remind people to stay active on social media at facebook.com/WGLNA, twitter.com/WGLNA. And you can catch all of our VODs and the upcoming schedule, as well as cool news pieces at WGLNA.com. And we do want to encourage you guys to join the Reddit community as well, because we like to post there and see what's cool, whether it's submissions, fan submissions, or cool pieces, achievements. All these things are more. Reddit even has a clan system, Ruko.
They have really tons of clans. They have thousands of people. They have casual and, I believe, active Clan Wars clans. So you can join either one. We're plugging them a lot today. These Reddit guys. But they're pretty cool.
They are really cool. Yeah. Really cool. And we're also really cool as well, the whole crew here. You can follow us on Twitter at WGLNA. You can also tweet at Clutch08, Greedtorp at Greedtorp, at Rookhill, at Frodan. But we're pretty much done here, so let's thank our sponsors. Thank you to Logitech, Kingston, Alienware, and Azo. Without these guys, WGLNA would not be possible. And of course, thank you to Wargaming for providing such a great game. From Frodan, Rookhill, Greedtorp, Clutch, and everybody here at Hero Level Productions, thank you so much for tuning in. Tune in tomorrow at 5 p.m. PDT for day number 6 in WGLNA.